Everybody, it's time to get rolling on the carpet. Now, being an ex-detailer, I do have a lot of different chemicals that I could show you and that we use, but my tried and true method is Dawn dish soap. So I'm going to try it on this tough spots. Now, you can damp it dry with a towel if you don't have a shop vac, but I'm going to link below a cheap wet and dry shop vac brand, and convert it to do the water side of it. And that way you can get plenty of water in here and really scrub and scrub. But I'm just basically going to use the standard brush I use to brush the dog hair out. So if you're coming back to check out how to remove dog hair, I'll link that video down below. And again, this will work on any vehicle, but basically my two standards are, when dealing with carpet in a vehicle, you don't want a brush that's too coarse. We don't want it to snag on this. So this is just a cheapo. I'm going to link it on the Zon. I got a bucket of hot water with Dawn dish soap, lots of it, get nice and sudsy. And then I just usually have an extra bucket of warm water, because a lot of people think you got to have an extractor, or I have a little greenie for pet stains and stuff. And you can kind of use that, but it's hard to get up in areas and stuff. So when you got a car like this that you're going to be dealing with, the areas and stuff, you're going to be going through a lot of solution, a lot of stuff. And I just found out that hot water, shop vac, sucks the water right back out. So you don't have to damp it dry with a towel, but you can do what you want. So I'm going to get that hot water over here. I try and get it hot, so if there's oily stuff that I'm scrubbing out, it'll warm it up and help lift it out. And I just start with one small area, do that, and then I move to the next. So if you want to break it up into 12-inch squares, something like that, you can definitely do that. If you don't have a big area you want to cover, that's fine. But I'm going to do the whole carpet in this truck, so it's time to get cracking. All right, so you guys can see right here that if you push the carpet down, sometimes this staining can go underneath that. So if you want to go ahead and shampoo all of that, you definitely can. You could take this panel off, and I can do a video later on how to remove this panel. But you don't have to. I probably will get under that. But we're just going to start with this stain area, and I'm going to show you that the Dawn dish soap works really, really good. Again, once you get water on this and soap, it's going to start lifting it. So you want to draw it out with, some type of either damping it with a towel or your shop vac. So now I went ahead and just got this all soapy because I want this clean too, the side of this console. And so basically I just took my sponge here, and you might need the smaller one. I just dropped the water right on this, man. Because again, we'll be able to extract it. So with the vacuum. So I'm going to get it good and soapy here. And then I'll get one of my other cleaner products out here and show you that really for the average Joe consumer or whatever, you're probably going to get most of your stuff out just by using this method. But and then I can link that chemical down below. I like that brand. I use a lot of stuff for exteriors and interiors, but we're going to go ahead and, like I said, just work this one area, and then we'll go from there. Now, I've only been scrubbing this area for just a few minutes. Keeping in mind, as you scrub this area or any stain, this carpet's polyester typically in an automobile, so for it to hold a stain or be stained forever, it's possible, but more than likely it's going to come out. So this is less than like 3 minutes of scrubbing with the little fingernail brush to get up in the areas. Like I said, you can try and use a green machine, but that chemical is expensive and it doesn't always smell that nice. So you can see that it's already lifting it out, but as you lift it, make sure you start sucking or extracting it with your shop vac, because once you lift it, you don't want to start pulling to the other area. So work the area and then come back to it. But it's coming out pretty good so far. This is just dish soap. All right, so it's almost out. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll just let that sit on there and then work around, because you can see this is gray where I cleaned it, and this is brown. And so, like I said, if you have some stubborn areas, I have some cleaner that I mix up in one of these bottles. And I use this company's cleaner quite a bit. So I'll link that down below. It's 1-to-1, so half that square bottle is water, half the other is the cleaner. But that's how I'm going to do it. So we'll come back here in a little bit, guys, and I'm going to show you how this all cleaned up, because like I said, there was elbow grease. that you're going to have to use. And some people are saying, I don't give a crap. It's underneath my seat, whatever. Amen. You do you. I'm just trying to give you some tips because there is probably some carpet you can see somewhere, unless you have rubber floors. And hopefully the video will help you out. And make sure that you check out the other links so that way you can see how to pull out dog hair in cars, especially if you're thinking about opening a detail business. I'm giving you some tips and tricks so you can get into the business and not spend hundreds. You could spend $500-$600 a month just on chemicals, and you really don't need to. So we'll come back here shortly and we'll check on this. All right, gang, it's getting dark out. It took a while to get that seat repaired, but here is the carpet, which is done. So I stopped right where the water ball is at on this side, so I haven't went too much further. And the light really isn't doing it justice. So this dark spot right here, this is where dirt and stuff has built up. Same thing with the gas pedal there. Now I went ahead and put some of my Whammo carpet cleaner. Unfortunately, that is what it is, but you can see that it is a stark difference from what it was. So we will let it scrub out tomorrow and do it again. We're going to let this stuff soak overnight and see if I can pull it out the rest of the way, but you saw how bad it was, and this looks pretty dang good. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.